Good evening, everyone. How is everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Good
Yes,
evening,
well,
Doctor.
now we can hear you.
Doing well. Dr.
Good.
Du, I have a quick question for you if you don't mind. I'm sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I was curious. It's easier for me to watch the live stream from YouTube than it is on Zoom. I entered for I signed up for the Zoom meeting, but will I still be eligible for the scholarship giveaway watching just from YouTube? Or is that
So the criteria for selecting winners is not just we just pick and choose which criteria we're going to use. Today we are not using who came first, who showed up first. Sometimes we do use that, right? So whether you join on YouTube or on Zoom today, it's not really going to make any difference. So today is just going to be based on purely participation, and we are just going to pick and choose who give like the best answer to any which random question that we are going to be asking. So just stay
okay?
put.
So
Yes.
is it okay if I watch from YouTube then?
Yeah, like that's fine. So, but if you're able to answer your question on YouTube or like type it in, and you are selected to be the best answer, then yes, you can still win.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
All right, Ewa.
Is Dr. Du still talking?
I don't think so.
Good. I just want to make sure that it's not from me.
Hey, welcome everyone once again. I appreciate everybody's time. So we are transmitting also on YouTube, and Michael is going to take over from me here. So I'm just going to hand it over to Michael, and he's going to run with it. He's going to do the cyber news, and then we will jump into the interview aspect also as well. All right, everyone. I appreciate everybody's time. Michael is taking over.
All right. Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Michael here. Appreciate everybody for joining. Just making sure, I hope everyone can hear me, right?
Yes, Michael.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate
We can
that.
hear you loud and clear, Michael.
Of course. All right. Excited. Yeah, let's kick it off. Yeah. So for those who don't know me, I know most of you already know me throughout Eretmis Inc. and also the Academy. So for those who don't know me, my name is Michael Mills. I do work with Dr. Du. So you'll be seeing me popping in here and there, helping out with the classes and also with interviews and stuff like that. So yeah, for those who don't know me, that's just a quick intro about myself. So we'll be diving into today's agenda. And give me a second. I'm keeping admitting people here. So give me a second. I'll do that real quick and then I'll share my screen and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, everybody can see me, and I mean, everybody can see the screen. Just making sure.
Yes.
Yeah, we can see your screen, Michael.
Absolutely. All right. So
Yes.
everybody know who we are, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this slide. And welcome once again. Always, like Dr. Du says, appreciate everyone. It's Friday night. You could have been anywhere, but decided to be here. Just learn about cybersecurity, take advantage, get some networking, get some connection here. And also, those of you who also came here for entertainment value. So I always like to say that as well. Those who came here for entertainment value. So please appreciate everybody. All right, let's go ahead and kick it off. Everybody knows this guy right here, so I'm not going to stress it one more time. Everybody know who Dr. Du is. So, but for those who don't, he's the founder and also the CEO of Eretmis Inc. and also Eretmis Academy. For those who don't know, Eretmis Inc. is a cybersecurity consulting firm based out of New York. They do perform anything about cybersecurity consulting services. Eretmis Inc. is also a QSA company, do perform PCI DSS assessment as well. And Dr. Du used to be a former professor over at University of Maryland Global College and also CTC, Central Texas College. All righty, let's keep going. So today, this is what we'll be talking about. Please give me a second. I keep admitting people here, so please bear with me. There we go. So today, this will be taken care of today. We'll be talking about our greatest hot cybersecurity news for the week. There's a lot of them that popped up today. And unfortunately, because of time, we cannot go over all of them, but we did select a few that I'll be going over today. And also, we'll just do a little demonstration. I know after last week, was it last week or the week before, when we did talk about how to pretty much take advantage of the Friday cyber chats and take a screenshot. So those of you who have already taken cybersecurity certifications like CompTIA, Sec Plus, and whatnot, you can take a screenshot, upload it to a CompTIA website, and that will also count as your continuing education unit CEUs. And I'll do a little demonstration on how to do that. I believe we did get some requests after that. Someone requested that we should do a pre-keynote demo so people can see how we can actually go to the website and upload the CEUs. And we're also introducing a new segment, what we call the mid-roll segment. So as part of Eretmis Cybersecurity, of course, it's a very big community. And for people to know where we are and also where people are joining from, we will be introducing this new segment where we call it the mid-roll segment, right? So basically, when we get to that time, I'll let everybody know. You just type in the chat your location where you are. If you're in the US or North America, you just say Canada, location, Africa, Europe, just type your location in the chat. So the goal is for everybody to see how many, where everybody's joining from, so we can have an idea where people are joining from. And it just makes it fun. People know where our audience reach, and also for Eretmis as well to know how the audience pretty much looks like, and when it comes to reaching to different people. So just stay tuned for that as well. And of course, one of the main reasons why we're here today, we have an individual here. He's called George. He will walk us through his cybersecurity journey. He used to be a registered nurse, RN. He was like, you know what? I need to find something different. And he decided to choose cybersecurity, right? I have no idea why he did that. And he'll be able to tell us more about that. Is it money? Is it passion? I don't know. So stay tuned for that. And of course, we'll be announcing some winners. And for those who are joining today for the first time, this month is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And as part of that, Dr. Du and Eretmis Inc. Pretty much are giving away full scholarship. I know some people are already typing their location. Please don't do that yet. Don't do that yet. When we get to the mid-roll segment, I will announce it and we'll start typing in our location, right? And I appreciate those who already did, but yeah, just hang tight, hold on for a second. And when we get to the mid-roll, pretty much the midpoint of this cyber chat, I will announce that and we can go ahead and start dropping our location. And we'll wrap up today by announcing our winners. And like Dr. Du said initially, for those who missed that part, It will be a combination of like team involvement. Probably there'll be some questions thrown out. So those who will be participating, help answering some of these questions. And that will be basically some of our eligibility criteria as to who will win and probably just get one of the scholarships that is currently going on at Eretmis Inc. and also Eretmis Academy, right? So please stay tuned for that as well. I know someone was asking those who are not able to join the live stream here on Zoom, but on they actually join it from YouTube. Unfortunately, I don't know if they can pretty much contribute out of YouTube, but if they can dial in and call, probably that'll be an opportunity for you to contribute as well. But it'll be a combination of team involvement, participation, answering of questions and whatnot, right? And we will announce it at the end of the day, right? All right, so fasten your seatbelts and let's get started. Let's go into our hot cybersecurity news for the week. So starting with, for the first hot item on the block. So we have some hackers that earned over $1 million for 58 0 days, what we call a 0-day attack at Home to Own in North America, Toronto, Canada, to be specific, right? And so for those of you who don't know, we have a lot of companies that do some of these programs where they do like a hacking competition where people come and pretty much exploit the weaknesses in a company's network or whatever the case may be, and whatever they find when they hack into it, then they will know their exposed vulnerabilities. And guess what? Right after that, they can start patching or remediating based on what they found, right? So my first question for the day, so this segment, right, this part of cybersecurity, it's under like a broad topic, right? When it comes to a company advertising, giving people opportunity to hack into their network, their system. And as part of that, depending on what they find, they can get opportunity to win some cool prizes. Anybody knows what we call that?
Bug bounty.
Oh, look at someone, please. Who was that? Just trying to make sure.
Tunde Malomo.
That's Tunde. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I have your name notified here. Bug bounty. Man, it looks like people are ready to win some prizes today. So let's see. We have Tunde. So bug bounty. Yep, that is correct. Companies do that a lot. And my follow-up question is, what is the overall strategy when it comes to the bug bounty program? Like, how do we classify that? Is it part of the, it's a program that they run? So my follow-on question is, what program do companies run which involves the bug bounty program? Any takers here?
The program is for them to know how secure their system is. So that if there is any vulnerability, the feedback, they will use the feedback to mitigate any risk coming out from the information from the hackers, from the white hackers or ethical hackers as they are called.
Okay, ethical hackers. Okay, sounds good. But I'm looking for the general term, like it's a program that is being run within the company. It's something I'm looking for a particular term. So if anybody can help with that. Okay, someone says pen testing. Okay.
Is it bug bounty? Bug bounty program.
Okay, so bug bounty program falls under what? Like what bracket?
Ethical hacking.
Is it vulnerability assessment?
And testing.
Okay, someone is getting close. Yeah, who was that?
Who
said the vulnerability?
That's me right here, Tunde Smith.
Tunde Smith. Oh, you again,
Yes,
right? So
vulnerability
no, that's another.
No,
Tunde.
that's a different Tunde. I'm Tunde Malomo. He's Tunde Smith.
That's another.
Oh, so we have two Tundes here on the call today.
Yes, sir.
All right. So just give me 1 second. Let me take some notes here. So you said Tunde Smith and who else?
Malomo.
Malomo. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's exactly what I was looking for. So it is part of the company's vulnerability management program, right? So companies' effort to manage their vulnerability, it's running their programs, and that's how they run their bug bounty. So let's go back into our cyber chat hot topic for today. So Pwn to Own is company based out of company in Toronto, Canada. And what they did was they did launch a bug bounty program, right? So they did pretty much give an opportunity for people to come and just exploit vulnerabilities. And based on that, they won a lot of money, as you can see on the screen, over $1 million. And pretty much what they did was, let me just give some details about exactly what went on. So pretty much what they did was doing this initiative, right? It was actually being organized by the Trend Micro's Zero Day Initiative. We call them a ZDI. Feel free to please Google them and look them up. They do that very occasionally, right? So what happened was they literally gave a complete list of things that they wanted to hack. And this time around, they did pretty much target, IoTs and also mobile devices, right? So some of the lists included, they had like Apple iPhone 14, they had like Google Pixel 7, Samsung Galaxy S23, like they had printers for the IoT, Internet of Things. Those who don't know what that is, when we're talking about any pretty much device that can connect to the network, it's called an Internet of Things, right? What we call IoT. So those are your wireless routers, those are your printers, those are your TVs, those are your 3-in-1 printers you have at home, right? So pretty much all these equipment were listed, and the goal was for these hackers to try to hack in and expose some of these vulnerabilities, right? So they did exactly that, and we happened to have some, lucky winners. So they did win, like I said, over $1 million. And the picture that you see right here at the bottom gives a breakdown of who won and how much they actually won. So it's a very, very, very good program. So please look for those of you who want to be or get into the offensive side of the house, the pen testing, bug bounty, ethical hacking. There's a lot of people that make money out of it, right? Some people, that's their full-time job. All they do is they do look for opportunities like this. They do register. And what they do is they just, try to hack into companies' network or their system, and they win some cool prizes. So for those who have the niche and passion for bug bounty programs and also hacking, please do consider this, because there's a lot of money involved, right? I actually know people who make like 20K every month, just bug bounty, just different companies. And we know most of these big companies, they do that a lot. So yeah, it's no news here. All right, let's move into our second hot topic for the day. So of course, we are currently in Cybersecurity Week, Awareness Month, and there's no way we can talk about Cybersecurity Awareness Month without talking about ransomware attacks, right? So this, it has been reported this week that ransomware attack has hit one of the breaking records here, as you can see on the screen. It's been increasing very, very much. And this is nothing new here, right, guys? This is nothing new. We've seen ransomware attacks happen here and there. There's a lot of, activists, a lot of groups that are parading around and, doing all these bad things and, infecting companies' network with all these, viruses and all these malware and claiming money at the end of it, right? I think the biggest one that recently occurred that probably everybody might know is the MGM hack that happened. Probably if we have time, we can dissect that so everybody can learn from that as well. But for those who don't know, of course, MGM was also hit. It was a very, very big hit. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, those in the team that knows, in this group that knows exactly how much they spent, but I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood or somewhere north of $100 million, right? And this was through literally someone just calling their help desk, right, to try and reset a password or fix something. So we always talk about cybersecurity awareness training all the time, training your people and making sure people are aware of all these situations, right? And yeah, we'll probably find some time and dive into that particular hack, because I know some companies were involved just helping. And just for those of you who know as well, yep, thank you, Tunde Malomo, for confirming that, yeah, over 100 million. And honestly, most of these companies, please don't quote me on this, but most of these companies, typically what they do is they try to undervalue how much the hack was, so that at the end of the day, those who have shares in them, and if they do report their loss or whatever the case may be, everybody will remember that, okay, they were hacked, right? So it could probably be more because we are talking about the ransom, right, that they actually requested for. We are talking about the time, the money that they spent, if they had to recover some systems or whatever the case may be, right? So if you look at everything in totality, it could actually be more. And I know some companies, probably not going to mention all the names right now, but I know some companies that helped, were involved, helping MGM pretty much rectify this incident, helping joining the incident response team. Now, what they do is typically at the end of the incident, when everything is all said and done, right? What they do is, and someone is just literally said what I was about to say right now. When stuff like this happens, right, they shut down pretty much their entire network. They shut down all their systems. So people could not go to the casino and literally even spend money there. People could not book hotels. So just look at everything in totality, right? We can talk about the ransom all day, but think about those who are not able to book hotels, those who are not able to, throw some dimes in the slot machine. So if you put everything together, you can tell probably there's a lot more than we see, right? It's a lot more than meets the eye. So the TLDR, too long didn't read. All where I'm getting at is it could be more. And the 100 million probably is not just the ransom that they requested, right? They probably requested 10 million from what I heard. And I was actually surprised because I'm like, right, if you're actually going to hack, and the hacking group, they actually call themselves R5 is ALPHV. I don't know if most of you have heard them. And also Scatter Spider. So those two hacking groups actually claimed that they are responsible for this hack. Hey, it's 2023, guys. Think about it. People just claim that, okay, I was involved in this hack, right? It's kind of funny when I hear that. But anyway, this is the world we live in. So we have to be mindful of that. So back to this here. So all we are saying here is ransomware pretty much increased for this month. As we can see, the month of October from 27th, today is the 27th. And as we can see, the numbers rose from 514. That was the last number that was reported earlier on. And 459 was what was reported the latest one that was pretty much heavy. And 514 is currently what actually surpassed the 459. So long story short, all we are getting at is when it comes to the ransomware, it is very real. It is, going on all the time. And I know Dr. Du actually did one cyber chat and kind of explain how we can help prevent ourselves from falling into that situation. Because sometimes they may not just hack into companies' network. It could be you. I remember a friend called me, I think a couple of years ago, about, had an issue. Their computer got compromised and they saw this random thing moving on their screen, and it was a guy actually just texting or sending a message on the screen that they have literally encrypted all their data, which include their financial data. They have some medical records also on their laptop as well, social security numbers for all you may know, because sometimes all this information, your debit and credit card information are stored in your cookie, right? So when they have access to this, of course, they can just literally sit on your computer or your laptop for even months without you noticing. But long story short, my friend the person was demanding, I think was $1,000 or something like that. And they had no option than to pay, right? So, it could happen to anybody. So long story short, just be mindful of the links that you click. If it sounds too suspicious, probably your guess is very right. Do not click on it. If you see, I know Dr. Du did cover this. So for those of you who were not present during that chat, just visit the YouTube channel. I'm sure you can see a lot about ransomware and how to protect yourself and also your family, friends, loved ones from falling victim to these ransomware attacks, right? All right, let's move on to the next one. It's all about hacking this month, guys. A lot about hacking. So guess what the next one is? Hacking too, right? Boom. So the European government email servers were hacked, right? And this is very, very huge. And guess what? This was hacked by also some group of individuals, some activists. They have money, they have all the sponsorship, they have laptops that are very, very high speed. And of course, now we are talking about these quantum laptops that they are coming, quantum enabled laptops that are coming online nowadays. So you can just imagine probably I'll say 5 to 10 years from now, the type of laptops that they'll be releasing with their processing power, processing capacity, and the stuff that they can do, right? So long story short, things are becoming, of course, the event of AI and stuff like that, right? It's making these things very, very easy to break into, because most computers that they are making nowadays has a lot of processing power, right? I think there was a whole article about how they are trying to, compute or hack or break into like the strongest encryption algorithm out there. Everybody has heard about the AES, right? 256 or whatever, the advanced encryption standard, right? Now, just having more computers with more processing power, all the speed, the quantum enabled computers that I'm talking about, right, will probably be able to hack into some of these within a twinkle of an eye, right? Or will take less time. So just keep an eye on that. So back to this is the European government email servers were hacked using a rank cube 0 day. And my next question for the day is, what is a 0 day vulnerability?
A 0 day vulnerability is a vulnerability that is not yet known to the company.
Oh, wow. Who is that?
Available. This is Prince Boateng.
Prince Boateng. Okay. Man, it looks like today is going to be a very fun day, right? It looks like everybody has their microphone pretty much unmuted. And when something, any question drops, they'll just go ahead and ask.
Listen,
right?
people.
All right, cool. And and I'm trying not to have people raise their virtual hands so I can pick randomly. I don't want anybody to guess that I know some random names that I'm picking. So if I ask question, the first person to answer, please feel free, go ahead and do so. So yes, please, like you rightly said, 0 day vulnerability is any vulnerability that has not been, that patch hasn't been released yet, or that is not known about, right? I know CISA is doing a very fantastic job. Jen Ersterlich, most of you who know the director of the CISA, they are working, pretty much day and night to help expose some of these vulnerabilities, right? So long story short, what happened here is the Winter Vibrant Russian hacking group, which pretty much has been exploiting what we call the RunCube web mail 0 day attack, right? And they've been targeting the European government entities, right? And they've been doing this as far back as October 11th, right? So it is very hot. And what the exploit was about was involved cross-site scripting, right? And my next question, your guess probably is as good as mine. Anybody knows what cross-site scripting is?
Yes, cross-site scripting. With cross-site scripting, the attacker actually places a malicious code into a third-party website that is usually accessed by a group of people. And then once you click that website, it activates the code and it infects your computer.
Oh, wow. Okay. And who is this, please?
Prince.
Oh, same Prince Boateng?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So rightly that you said, Prince, no more question for you. No more action of questions for you again. So yeah, like rightly what you said, cross-site scripting. Yeah. So literally pretty much what you said, you are right, 100% right on the money, right? So just to give more clarity or more details, pretty much it's a type of like a vulnerability that we commonly found pretty much find in our web application, right? And what happens is these web applications that we have, right, they allow users to pretty much just inject, like Prince was saying, malicious scripts into their web pages, right? And of course, when they do that, they can do a lot of damage to your pretty much your browser, right? So they can, steal your session cookies, right? And your session cookies pretty much contains a lot of information. They can do session hijacking as well. They can have access to your debit and credit card, right? They can make purchases without your consent. They can also steal your data, right? They can distribute a lot of malware, right? There's a lot of things that can come up with, cross-site scripting, right? And My next question is, how do you, or can anybody tell me how we can help prevent this cross-site scripting?
That was in the patch.
Okay, patch is good. Okay, anybody else?
Proper coding. Multi-factor authentication.
Good secure coding practices. Who said the proper coding?
Akinremi.
I'm sorry, can you repeat your name one more time?
Akinremi.
Akinremi.
Yes.
Input validation.
Michael, input
Web-based
validation
firewall.
can also prevent cross-site
Filter
scripting.
input.
Encryption.
All right, please. Who said the input validation? That was one of the items I was looking for.
Frank
Filter
Ajuman.
input.
Yeah, input validation, correct. Yeah.
Frank
Please, who
Ajuman.
said the input validation?
Frank Ajuman.
George, you are me out.
Man, I'm hearing like about 5 different names right now.
Encryption of data.
You are me out.
Output coding.
Frank
Output
Ajuman.
coding. Web-based firewall.
It's input
All
validation.
right, so good
You are me out.
information.
Guys, slow down, guys, please. Michael, did you get George Amayo? He's the one that you were asking for.
You are me
Yeah,
out.
thank you so much. Yeah.
Unlike anything we've seen.
Yeah. No, thank you very much. That was pretty much one of the things I was looking for. So literally all that you said is right. So there's
From the sea.
Data sanitation.
Yeah, secure coding practices is one of the biggest items that we help pretty much to mitigate this thing that I'm talking about, the cross-site scripting, right? And input validation is very, very huge, right? So basically with input validation is whenever they are, developing the web application or they are writing codes, right? They ensure that they have this pretty much to prevent people from typing in like different characters, right? If you restrict what people can type into your browser, that will help, right? Literally just validating their inputs, right? So there's no issues on that part, right? And I know someone says regular security audits, web application, WAF, okay, very good takes, yeah. Looks like we have a very good community here. So appreciate all the answers and everything, right? Thanks to everybody, right? So what actually happened was when they did hack, of course, they found the security patches, right? And it was actually pushed out 5 days after. And for those who are typically used to pretty much installing security patches, most companies, what they do is they also have to make sure that when you download the patch from their website, right, it is also secure and the integrity of the patch is also secure, right? So mostly what I've seen is most companies, when they release the patch, they will actually encrypt it or they will hash it, right? And they will probably add the hash value to it. So when you download it, you use it, you check the hash and it's still the same, then you can know that nothing has happened from the time you downloaded it to when you actually install the patch onto your network, right? Because sometimes there's always like a middleman attack, right? You try to download something, someone grabs it like in between, inject another code and you try to install the patch and you're actually installing more, vulnerabilities onto your system. So just be mindful of that. Most companies, what I've seen here, when they do release the patch, before they would let you know on their website, they hash it, right? So it's not in plain text, right? So when you download it, it will have the hash value. So when you download it, you can literally compare the hash value to make sure that the integrity of the patch has not been compromised, right? And so the CVE is right here. And for those of you who want to read more about it, you can go, anybody knows how to look into, first, who knows what CVE is or what CVE stands for?
It's common vulnerability enumeration.
Oh, okay. Common vulnerability enumeration. Good job. Who was that, please?
Oh, exposure.
It's exposure. Common vulnerability exposure.
Exposure.
Yep. Who was that?
Udema almost said common vulnerability exposure. I think the other person got it right, but I think the last thing he said wasn't exposure.
Oh, maybe I did not hear the person right. What did he say again?
Common vulnerability exposure.
Yeah, vulnerability exposure. Yeah, and who was that?
Faisal.
Faisal.
No, Mike, answer the first.
I thought it's common vulnerabilities and exposures.
Yeah, it's literally, the intent is the common vulnerability and exposures, yeah, CVE. But basically, the CVEs, you can always read up on it. Who knows where you can read up on CVEs and CVSS and all of that?
CISA.gov.
Yep, CISA, they have, yeah, we can do that as well, MITRE and attack. Like, we have so many places that you can read that.
Vulnerability database.
Yeah, the NVD, National Vulnerability Database. Yeah, good call. Man, everybody. All right. So that would do for our hot cyber news for today. So we'll pretty much be looking now into how to upload CEUs. And literally what I was saying is, please, guys, take advantage of those of you who currently have cybersecurity certifications that needs renewal. Most typically, we see that like every 3 years. And you have to prove that by having these continuing education units, right? And by way of proving that is actually setting in what we are doing right now, right? So what you can do is literally you can just type in the chat, hashtag team live, just so your name can appear on there. Take a screenshot, file it away, and I'll show you how to upload it here in a second. So long story short, just to avoid any doubts, you can literally, like in the chat. And I'm not saying if you play the replay, if you, not able to attend, listen to the replay, you can do that as well. But those of you who sit on the live class like we are doing right now, live chat, you can literally just type in hashtag team live, right? And you can take a screenshot so that at least they can know you actually came to the class, right? All right, there you go. So hashtag team live right there. You can take a screenshot, just file it away. We do this every single Friday, right? And that will suffice when you do your pretty much upload it to renew your certification. So give me 1 second. Let me pull up my other screen and I'll show you how to upload that. All right, can everyone see my screen here?
Yes, you can see your screen.
Perfect. Yeah. So this is CompTIA. I'm going to use CompTIA as an example. I've actually logged in already. So you see me here. So when you come here, you just go to manage certifications, right? And it's literally going to show you like a whole bunch of stuff here, right? So when you click on manage certifications, right? You can see, you can come to your view certification status. You can come to pay CE fees or submit CEUs, right? Right here. I will bring you to this page right here. Let me just go back one more time so y'all can see. You go to manage certifications. This will pop right up. So access your certifications, right? You come to pay CE fees and submit certification. You're actually not going to pay, but this will take you to where you can upload it, right? So you come right here and it shall bring you right up to this page, right? And it will show a list of all the certifications that you have. So you select which one that you have. So I'm using Security Plus as an example, right? Like right here. And if you come here as well, add CEUs, it's literally the same thing. You come right here, add CEUs. It will give you a drop down to select the certification that you want to add the CEU for. So CompTIA Security Plus, right? You hit submit. When you hit submit, this screen is going to pop right up, right? As you can see, when it comes to the activity, like we have different options to choose from, right? So what you want to take is training and higher education. Training and higher education, because this is pretty much like a type of training we are doing. So when you click on that, it will give you this drop-down menu right here, give you different options. So as you can see, the second option right here, attended a live webinar. Attended a live webinar. Like I said, I've seen people literally go to YouTube, like use like replays I know some people do, there's different podcasts on LinkedIn and stuff like that, right? People use that all the time. And I've seen people use their replays, they're still taking a screenshot and it's accepted. But those of you who are currently on the live, all I'm saying is to take advantage of this opportunity, like what people are doing right now, just do hashtag Team Live, drop that in the chat, take a screenshot and just file it away, right? So when you come right here, attended a live webinar, you just click on it and it will tell you the eligibility criteria or what you need literally when you start filling this activity, right? So it's gonna ask about your name, the name of the webinar. So this case will be Cyber Chat, right? And date of the webinar, which is today, 27th, right? And number of hours. Typically this run for like about 2 hours, right? That's what we've seen. So you can just use 2 hours or however long it takes to finish this Cyber Chat. You go to accept activity. And let me go back so I can show you some options here as well. Oh, document expired. Yeah, so let me show you some stuff here. So the relevance here, at least 50% of the webinar session content must be related to the examination objectives, right? And we all know the CompTIA examination objectives, a lot of them, and this actually satisfy as well. Because we always talk about conducting cybersecurity training, just sensitizing, making people aware of the do's and don'ts, like all the stuff we're just talking about for cross-site scripting, doing input validation, secure coding practice. So this actually covers the domains that CompTIA is trying to pretty much convey before you take the exam, right? So you hit accept activity and you start training provider. You can use Eretmis Academy right here, activity, attended a live webinar, blah, 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 the hours, you put the hours in there. If you want to make any comment, you don't have to, honestly, as you can see, but if you want to put any comment, you can, feel free, put that in there, right? Documentation language, of course, it's for this example, I'm using English. Feel free to use any language that the live webinar was used for, right? And yeah, just select it, add, when you take the screenshot, right? Select it, file it away. It'll pull up, you just select whatever you need, right? Just attach it, boom, add. That's it. It's as easy as that, right? So please, so I know some people pay a lot of money, like about $200. So when you go to CompTIA's website, they actually have like a live or they have a training program where you pay, I think it's like $180 or $200. They'll give you like a whole bunch of tests that you need to do. And you actually have to score 100% for every single domain, right? So if I pay $200 and spend and this test is not easy. It takes a long time, right? And you can take it multiple times. So the TLDR here is just a waste of time, not really a waste of time, but probably a waste of money, right? So if you don't have enough money, you just want to take advantage of this opportunity, please feel free and do that. Any questions about submitting CEUs?
No.
All right, appreciate everybody. And like I said, you don't have to do this.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, please, can you just run us through again?
Okay, you want me to run through this one more time?
I have a question related to
Yes,
the test
one
on
more time.
CompTIA.
One more time.
Yeah, please go
We should
ahead.
always
Yeah.
we should always know there is a replay, right? So we can always watch it on the replay.
But yeah, no, good call. Of course, people can always watch the replay. We have a lot of stuff to get into, but I'm just going to do a quick demo one more time. So you go to their website, you just log in using your credential because you already have a certification, right? So you have a credential to log in, right? You go to add CEUs, you select your certification that you want to add, you go submit. It will bring you to this page right here. What you want to select is training and higher education. Training and higher education. You select that, it will give you different options, right? So what you want to select is attended a live webinar, right? Attended a live webinar. You just click on this guide right here, and it will pretty much tell you how many CEUs that you need. You literally need up to 10 CEUs towards renewing this certification, right? And 1 unit per hour, right? So 1 unit per hour. So guess what? If you do this like every year, you have way more than enough, right? Any questions? All right, cool. So thanks, I appreciate everybody. And we will actually start our mid-roll right now. So literally the mid-roll, what I was talking about for Eretmis Inc. and Eretmis Academy to literally know where people are pretty much joining from. We are going to use this opportunity to just type in the chat where you are joining from, pretty much the city and the country. We just want to have an idea where people are joining from. So let's just take this quick 1 minute. Okay, Chicago, US. Texas, Bronx. We'll see the state that has more representation. Okay, I see Atlanta, North Carolina, New Jersey. Okay, we have a lot of Dallas, Texas. I've seen a lot of Texas here. Chicago. I think Texas is winning right now. Okay, Canada. All right, Team Canada. Okay, there we go. Texas. Oh man, I think this is a mic drop for Texas. There's a lot of representation from Texas. Okay, Spring. Yeah, Maryland, Texas. I'm looking at my timer here. We have like about 35 more seconds. New Jersey, okay. New York, okay. Connecticut, Hartford, okay. All right. Any overseas? Arlington, Texas. Man, we've had Woodlands, Texas. A lot of Texas representation. New York, we see you. Abigail Lafo. Canada, okay. Columbus, Ohio. Princeton, New Jersey. William Opoku, we see you. William Opoku, okay. All right, Conroe, Texas. Johannesburg, South Africa. Oh man, that is a mic drop. So Duma Idrisu joining all the way from Johannesburg, South Africa. Please shout outs to Johannesburg, South Africa. The reason why I'm saying this, looking at the time difference, it's probably early in the morning, dawn at this time of the day. So appreciate you all for joining. Anybody? I saw some Canada, but yeah, shout outs. I think our MVP today will be Duma Idrisu from Johannesburg, South Africa. Yeah, appreciate you taking the time, staying up all night or waking up early, whatever the case may be, and joining the cyber chat. Any questions, comments, or concerns before we go ahead and move to our next item?
Yeah, shout out to, I think I saw Camp Humphreys on there by Colin.
Probably, I think I missed it.
Yeah, Camp Humphreys, I was stationed in Camp Humphreys around 2009. So shout out to Camp Humphreys.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Dr. Du is stepping
so
in here.
For everybody who is not aware, Camp Humphreys is an army base based in South Korea. So
wow. And guess what I just saw here? Helsinki in Finland. So Yao, hey, shout outs to Yao joining all the way from Helsinki, Finland. And we have Kwame Frimpong from France, Paris. Oh, wow, from Paris, France. Well, so I hope you'll appreciate this segment so you can see how big the community is growing. So please tell a friend to join. There's a lot of educational value. There's a lot of entertainment value that to get out of this cyber chat. So please just invite your friends so they can also benefit. If you have any friend trying to get into cybersecurity or some people just trying to figure out where they need to go in terms of their career building or just climbing the, pretty much the educational ladder, right? Cybersecurity is the way to go. You know how to find us. So please tell a friend to tell a friend. If you know someone who is confused, trying to find a career or trying to find a path, please find us or just share the link with them so they can join. So I've seen Kwame Frimpong from Paris, France. I've seen Yao from Helsinki, Finland. And we also saw one from South Africa, Johannesburg, obviously. And also South Korea, one of our army bases overseas. So shout outs to our military family as well. Shout outs to our military family. We appreciate all you do. Those joining from, someone is also joining from Kwame Odo from Ghana, Domar, Ghana. Okay, Domar from Ghana. Okay, all right. All right, Clary, Canada. From Humphrey, South Korea. So Colenius, yeah, we see you right here. All right, appreciate everybody. All right, so let me stop sharing my screen and we can probably go into it. Let me use this opportunity to see if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, anything before we go ahead and bring on George. Nothing? All right. So appreciate everybody. Let's roll right into our interview for today. So we have the privilege and also the honor of having George Awa here. He's pretty much going to walk us through his journey, what he was doing before, and how he got involved in cybersecurity and how he landed his cybersecurity job. So I'm not going to talk too much. I have a co-pilot here. So Sheila Odro, Sheila, please, if you're online, can you please unmute yourself and give, thumbs up or shout outs to the team so we can start asking the questions for George?
Yes, thank you, Michael. Thank you. You've done a great job in a way. And hello to everybody. Thank you all for joining us today. You could have been anywhere on Friday and you're here with us. So we thank you. I think we can get started. My name is Sheila Oduro. I am a regional cybersecurity analyst for the Commonwealth. So like Michael said, today we're going to be talking to George, try to see how he managed to move from nursing. A lot of Africans love nursing. So for him to jump from nursing to cybersecurity, I'm very interested to know, and I'm sure you're also interested. So Michael, do you know if George is on the line with us already?
Yes, I did see George Awa. George, please, if you are on, can you please come online? I think I did see his name in the chat. That's why I just wanted to get him on. I know it's Friday night, so we can cover this segment very quickly so people can, I know it's Halloween weekend and people have plans, so we don't want to take people's time here. George, are you please online?
Let's give him a few more minutes.
Yeah, we'll give it some few more minutes. I think I did see him probably having some connectivity issues. So yeah, we'll just wait for a few seconds. But yeah, just using this opportunity as well. Of course, Eretmis Academy, of course, just training our cybersecurity workforce. Those of you who have not checked out the website, please, the website, I believe that you do drop that in the chat. There's a discounts going on right now. I think it's like 40% discount. So please take advantage of this huge discount. One, Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and also is Dr. Du's birthday month, right? So it's like a double, discount right here. So please, if you're not taking advantage of it, just feel free, go to the website. If you have any questions, you know how to find us. There's also a big community with our WhatsApp chat platform. It has, I believe, over 800 people in there. And also shout outs to those who have been posting like content about cybersecurity, and it's strictly cybersecurity. Let me just use this opportunity as well to clarify some things here. So that particular WhatsApp group is just purely about cybersecurity, right? So it's opportunity for people to just connect with professionals and also like-minded people in the industry, just learn from each other, build some connections, because I've known people who have used an opportunity to connect with other people within the chat and helping with like interview preps. I know people who have actually formed a team within the chat, and they literally meet like every week and they help each other out with prepping for interviews, going through questions and stuff like that. So please, if you're looking forward to join any of these groups or any of these individuals, just, type in the chat. I'm sure someone can reach out to you. Or if you need any information about cybersecurity as well, please feel free and drop it in there. That's what we are here for. We are all helping the greater community. So at the end of the day, we are all, learning. And Dr. Du can tell you, Dr. Du learns every day. Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you have 200 years of experience in cybersecurity. The environment is changing. The whole cybersecurity ecosystem is changing. It's evolving. So you have to keep up with the emerging trends and whatever is going on within the industry, right? So that's why we do this continuous education, right? So please just stay abreast and stay tuned with the latest news or whatever is going on in cybersecurity, right? And I believe he did drop the WhatsApp chat in this platform, so you can just click on it and you can join. And welcome to the family. Let me get back here. Did he join yet? George, are you online now? If not, we can also give it a few minutes. I think he's getting ready. I saw him come pop in and out. Okay, there we go. Yep, I think he's joining now.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's got it online. Please feel free. Any questions, comments, concerns from the team? Please, if you have any questions about the program, how to join, how to sign up. And also, there are some free courses online as well. The PCI DSS course, there's a free version online. And also the general cybersecurity entry-level course. There's also a free version online as well. So, yeah. There we go. So I think George just joined. He just gave me a thumbs up here. So George, just take a minute, just giddy yourself up while we prepare you for this interview. So just get all situated. Make sure your microphone, everything is all ready to go, and then we can go ahead and get it started. So Sheila, please, if you have, or if you are ready, you can go ahead and take it away.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Hi, George.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. It's exciting to hear. When I hear one of us have finally landed your job, it just makes me so happy. So, like I said, thank you again. I think you can see a lot of people here. Dr. Edu publicized this and people joined. So everybody want to hear how you were able to move from nursing to cybersecurity. But first, can you tell us a bit about yourself, your background before diving into the cybersecurity world?
Okay, thank you. So I started off in nursing. I did all the tracks in nursing, CNA, LPN, RN. I did my bachelor's, and I worked as a nurse from 2011 until 2015. And then I was able to get, no, not 2015, to 2000, up to last year. Yeah, up to last year.
Oh, 2022. So 2022.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. Until I joined Dr. Edu's program. Yeah.
That's so interesting. I'm telling you, that's so interesting. For one, it's very interesting to me because I remember when I came here at first, I also, the African dream, everybody want to be a nurse or be in the, yes, it's true, or be in the health system, because that's where, job security and everything and so forth. So it's interesting that you actually jumped on from nursing after going through all that to cybersecurity. It's amazing.
Yes.
All right. So my next question, Mike, you want to take that, or you want me to go on to half of it and then you?
Yes, you can go ahead, please. Sheila, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Sure. All right. So George, sorry about that. So what actually, like I said, what actually inspired you? Because like I said, when it comes to nursing, it's a lot of African dream when you come here or when you travel outside. So being in a nurse, becoming a nurse and getting all the way up there, what inspired you to do the transition from nursing to cybersecurity?
Well, there's a difference between passion and what you're good at. So even though I was good at nursing, I've always been passionate about IT. And so most of my time was spent in IT. So I'll always be curious about IT, even though I'm doing nursing. I mean, what is the IT function of this? What's the IT function of that? And I did networking before I came to this country. But like you said, once you come to this country, they tell you nursing is the best choice to go into nursing. And I did that. But I was never happy about it because I was not passionate about it. So the last year, a friend of mine was a cybersecurity expert. And with the way he had flexibility, he's able to travel to different places and still work. Was amazing. And and he was making more money. He was not stressed like me as a nurse. And he used to come and visit me every time in California. And I was like, don't you have work to do? He said, no, I mean, he has finished work. He just came to visit and is going back. So he had so much flexibility and he encouraged me to get into cybersecurity. And so he kept encouraging me. I said, you know what? I had done my master's in IT. but I was not able to have the internship opportunity. So I did all that in 2008, and I did all pen testing and all that stuff. But I never knew it was going to be hard getting into the market because I was getting rejected because I had no experience. And it's only last year that my friend encouraged me to get into cybersecurity because you have the flexibility, stress, and you can be able to work remote and all that. So then I decided to look up internships instead of going through all the tracks from beginning because I had my previous education in IT, but no experience. So then I saw Dr. Edu's workshop internship, and that's how I joined last year. I think it's last year. I don't know if a year has passed already, but that's how I got the opportunity to do that. When one of his charts, he explained how the internship works like, and it was hands-on, what you're going to do on the job. And I said, that's what I'm looking for. So then I signed up, and then I did all the internship, and I started applying for jobs. So before we ended the internship, I got my first job in the hospital, a different hospital in their cybersecurity department.
Wow. That's very inspiring. Very, very inspiring. And very interesting. It's interesting that a lot of people, well, I've met a couple of people that have actually gone through the school system, done associate, bachelor's, master's even, and don't have the experience. You would think that you will get the experience and everything that you need to prepare you when you go to college or when you go to the school. But it's interesting that some end up here or end up lacking that hands-on experience that they need. So I'm glad that you found us.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
You kind of touched on the next question that I was going to ask you, but I'm just going to stretch it a little bit. You met a friend that kind of spoke with you about this, and then you finally landed with Eretmis. But my question is, you see, there is a lot of, at least since I heard about cybersecurity, which is about, what, 5 years ago? Yeah, 3-4 years ago, probably. But since I heard about it, I have seen a lot of teachers, a lot of classes, a lot of boot camp, a lot of people interested. Very funny story. Somebody came to my house talking about a guy that he has met that can teach him, and the guy was telling me about how he's going to teach our friend. And we asked him, so what is cybersecurity? What? And then he's like, oh, cybersecurity is when president, he said, but when there was an Iraq war and Osama bin Laden, and then they attacked the United States, and the president realized that they need more people to help. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? Anyway, that was just my side story. But anyway, my question is, there's so many people teaching the class. There's so many places. You even went to school for it. How did you decide that I'm going to finally settle with Eretmis? There's so many other people teaching this class. How do you even know that what you are getting yourself into? I, for once, have gotten into the wrong hands before. So how did you make the decision, or how did you even find out that this is the right place to be and to actually enroll with Eretmis in their program?
Thank you for that. I mean, there's so many programs out there, and if you're not careful, you'll fall in those traps.
Right.
Like I said, I did so many things. I even did project management. I did my certification in that. Never got a job. I did another program, and I even owed money on that. And so when it got to Dr. Edu's own, I was a skeptic about that. But some people came in, and then, like how I am talking about it now, people gave their testimonies. And what I liked about it was realistic. It was not something magical. So they were telling you, one of the things I heard was, you are going to hear a lot of people say no to you, but you have to persist. I think that's what was missing in me, that when I did my master's and I realized that people were saying no to me, there was no hope. But the way that they said that they persisted.
So do we give this
In terms of Faith, can you mute yourself, please? Thank you. Sorry, George. Please go ahead.
Okay, so the testimonies from people was very realistic. It wasn't something like magic. They had to go through a tough process. I mean, you have to persist, applying, doing, following up with Dr. Edu, leaning on people, mentorship. And people said, they applied for 20 jobs, 15 jobs, and all that. So they gave you the actual blueprints. And that was what I wanted to hear. I didn't want to hear something that was magic. Something realistic, to know that, okay, it's not something that comes out of the sky, but it's doable. So, okay, if that's what it takes, then that's what we have to do. But people will sell you some kind of stuff, and then you do it, and then you get frustrated. But that's what made me come to Dr. Edu's own, the fact that it was realistic. It's not something that is out of magic, but you have to do a due process, and it works. And so I took a chance to that, and this is where I am today.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, George. You always do a little touch up on my next question. So I was still asking away. Maybe you can spin it up a little bit. So with your experience with Eretmis, can you share some key lessons or courses from Eretmis Academy that were pivotal to shaping your cybersecurity knowledge, knowing that you had you went to school, you've taken some classes and had some degrees, but what did you get at Eretmis that you can share with the team?
The internship is so valuable because it develops what you're going to speak about during interviews, collaborating with people, getting tasks done. You would get some hitches along the way, how you solve those problems. And then basically the frameworks is everywhere. So the NIST frameworks, CIS version frameworks, incident response, third-party risk management. Once you are in tune with those internship and you are collaborating with people, you develop the skills that you are able to talk about. And so that was very, very pivotal. So like I said, before I got to week 7 of incident response, I applied for a job and I was talking about what we did. And it took me in the GRC because I said I use NIST to assess the organization using the framework. I use CIS. And when I got to the job, that's the same thing they were using. The Excel sheet Dr. Edu gave to us, that's what I was working with. So it wasn't different from what I was going to experience on the job. So that was pivotal to me in changing my career to cybersecurity.
Great.
Also, one more thing, his mentorship too, the charts, following it, sometimes it's hard to get him because he's busy, but once you get him and he's able to mentor you that do this, because when the interview came, I asked him, he sent me voice notes, I went over it. And then, so reaching out to him, and then even the classmates on the internship also helped me because I was able to lean on their experience. So all that sums up what I am today. The classroom, Dr. Edu, the people, or the cyber chats, all that helped to get me to where I am today.
Good. Good. That is amazing. Well, that's how he is. So my next question is, can you tell everyone here, how did Eretmis Academy network and the industry connections help you during your job search when you were trying to find a job?
So the current job I'm going to be doing was also through Eretmis. I never knew anything about PCI. But there was a lot of buzz with, of course, the students. Everybody was asking about PCI. Some people were signing up. I was like, what is this? So I was curious about it. And then, of course, he made a class about it. And I realized the benefits of it. And I'm like, okay, let me do it. And so I invested in it. He was taking a lot of money, but I was grumbling. But I mean, the value was, you can't place any value on that education. So I did I did that. I even got to the expert class. I was feeling kind of tired, but then I got the opportunity to the PCI job. And so that network is what got me here. I wouldn't have known PCI and got a job until I came to Dr. Edu's class. I never knew how valuable that was until today. So now when I go and I took, for example, today, I was doing a third-party risk management, and then I was looking at one of the documents in PCI, but there was something missing. And I was saying, where is the diagram? Where was the network diagram? If I hadn't studied that, I would not be able to ask questions about the documents I'm doing my analysis on. So that tells you that the education I get from PCI is valuable, and the network of people joining PCI class got me into this.
Good. That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you. Over to you, Michael.
Yeah, so Sheila, before Michael comes in, I think maybe a little bit clarification. So George got a job doing a cybersecurity analyst role, if I'm mistaken. He did that for almost a year.
Yeah.
He did that for almost a year. And now
in February.
Yeah, in February of this year. Okay.
Right.
In just February. And now he got another job as a PCI specialist or PCI analyst. I'm not sure of the job title. So it's not he didn't just transition to PCI. He did the internship, got a job, and then did a PCI class. Whilst he was working as a security professional now. And then he has now just recently landed a PCI job, right? So maybe some clarification on that.
Wow.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So it's a direct influence on exactly what I am doing now. So
man, Dr. Edu, if we knew this, we would have asked more questions. George, you have a lot of explanation to give. You got 2 jobs in it. I'm so proud of you.
Yes,
that's amazing. That's amazing. Good. All right, Michael.
All right, George, thank you so much. So the next question is, so what role did the mentors and instructors at the Eretmis Academy play in your transition and also preparing you for your interviews to land this job? So let me take this one more time. What role did the mentors and also the instructors here at Eretmis, what role did they play in prepping you for landing this job in terms of your interviews and also the role that you are actually working on?
So anytime I had an interview, I always call up my classmates. Hey, I have an interview. Can you guys quiz me on questions that will come during those interviews? And so like the PCI, like this, I had 10 questions. And I spoke to Mavis, my friend, and Lumen. And the 2 of them answered questions on the interview. It was a self-interview question video recorded. So you just have to speak during the interview recording. So we went over it, and that's the responses I used to land the job. So my classmates helped me, and then Dr. Edu also, I gave him the flyer, and then he told me to go for it. So, I mean, it is nowhere else apart from Eretmis. And also, Mike, also I called him, I think Mike Jimfy, the one in Gentiva, I also called him, and he also said, oh, just do this, do that. I mean, when the questions come, do this, say that. And so, I mean, leaning on your classmates and Dr. Edu always helps to shape how you articulate your responses during interviews, because I want to see everybody's perspective and make sure I don't miss anything. So that's why I lean on everybody to help me in Eretmis, and that helped me land the job.
Okay, so before Michael comes in, George, you're talking about for your interview, you had to record yourself. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Oh,
like,
no,
do they send you the questions and then you just
yes,
answer the questions by recording yourself and sending that back to them, or how is that really like? Just break that down.
So the recruiter reached out to me, told me this is the job, and then he said 10 questions. They don't have time to interview people. It's a big organization. It's too many people. They need people as soon as possible. The company, and so they can't have time wasting. Interviewing 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds. No, so they acquired a company that would do recording sessions. So the website will ask you a question. I mean, they've programmed it in such a way that question 1, it would read it out to you, then you put your camera on, and then you speak, and it will record. 1 attempt, and that's it. So you can't go back and then, so just 1 attempt to the question, 2 minutes. Then you speak, then it's done for question 1. Then it goes to the next one, onto the 10 questions. And that was it. It was submitted. I told the recruiter, and then I waited to hear back from them, and they responded back to me.
All right, thank you, George. Michael can go ahead.
Thank you so much, George. That's very inspiring. And I hope people are also learning and will follow suit. So my next question for you, George, is how will you compare the return on investment from your time and resources that you spend at Eretmis with actually what the outcome or what you've achieved in your career so far? And let me take this one more time. So how would you compare the return on investment, right, with your time and resources that you spend at Eretmis? You compare that currently with what you have achieved so far in your career with respect to cybersecurity.
Thank you for that. I really wanted this question because I wanted to reiterate that most people had the fantasy of landing 6-figure jobs right away. It would not be the case for everybody because my first job was less than 6 figures. But I spoke to Dr. Edu and he said, you know what, stay in there and get your experience. So my first job wasn't 6-figure, but I mean, the experience I got was very valuable. And landing my second one is more than 6 figures. And so I can tell you, I still owe him the classes. I've not finished paying, but with that alone, I have gotten my remote jobs. I don't have to drive Monday to Fridays to work in California traffic. I'm going to be fully remote. It's that you can't get anything better than that. So even though I invested in the PCI, I was grumbling, he was taking a lot of money, but now today it's way more than that. And so now I don't have to grumble about that anymore. So yeah.
Thank you so much for that, George. So my next question for you is, I know your current role is in PCI DSS. So I know you recently just stepped into PCI DSS. How did Eretmis, how did Eretmis prepare you for such a specialized, role in cybersecurity?
So the PCI program is very valuable because it touches from the foundation to the expert level. And when you get that amount of education, it makes you almost like a consultant, because there are people's programs out there that don't go very intense like what he does. So the value of his education, it's really valuable. You can't measure it. So now, like I said, someone applied for a PCI job and they didn't know what they applied for. I started asking them questions from PCI. They had no idea what they were talking about. I said, this takes about 4 months to 5 months training to do. And so that makes me confident about getting on a job to be able to do that, because it also provides you the internship and the workshop on the documents you have to use when you get there, how to fill those documents, how you go about your questionnaires, planning for the program. I mean, implementing the whole PCI program for the organization, he equips you with that. And so it's valuable, and there's nothing I can say that will make it not invaluable than that. So yeah.
Thank you so much, George, for that explaining this and the explanation as well. So just a follow-on question to that. I don't know if you touched on it. How long was the PCI DSS program and how was it structured? Just for those who are listening as well.
The specialist about, I think, 4 months. I mean, the expert class, I was so busy, I started with the expert class, but I'm still going to continue. But I mean, the expert class now, the specialist class is about 4 months, or I think 4 or 5 months. I'm not sure off my head, but I know it's more than 4 to 5 months. And that was what I did to be able to get a job.
Got you. Thank you so much. And I think I'm trying to help someone in the chat here. So someone is asking, could you have done the PCI role without your prior experience?
Of course, because when you go on the job description shows you what to look for. If they're talking about questions like self-assessment questionnaire, compliance programs, I was just going over the PCI again. There was a part in Appendix D, I think Appendix D, where you have to do the whole PCI compliance program. I mean, you go over all this stuff and then you look at the job description. If it shows what you have done before, then why not go for the job? Because on the interview, I was speaking about this stuff. They were asking cybersecurity stuff, but I was putting PCI in the responses, because there was one question they asked about how would you recommend to senior executive about security recommendations. I did talk about segmentation in PCI, and I also talked that they have to separate 2 servers in a device. So you can't get all this information without having the training and education in cybersecurity and PCI and combining your responses effectively. So, I mean, that prepares you very well, because compared to other people's education, I'm telling you, they don't even touch to the PCI IP level. Like, that's even the foundation. What it's called foundation level does not match what Dr. Edu teaches. So it adequately prepares you for the job.
All right. Thank you so much, George. So I think probably the last question that I have is for those attendees or those currently in this chat listening to you right now, who are currently considering a career switch to cybersecurity and looking for like a potential 6-figure job, right? What advice would you give to them about joining Eretmis Academy?
Thank you. So initially, I felt skeptical of doing this, but I did this to inspire somebody. It is, I mean, I wouldn't be talking today if I didn't listen to people who also talked about this on their journey and everything. So listening to us helps inspire somebody. Also, you go through the program, you have to spend time, you have to spend money. The more money, the more time, the better your chances. So investing in the program is number one. Is investing money if you can. I had to do 9 shifts to pay for some of these courses. I mean, so you have to put in the time. Every time when my friends call me, I'm working, even on the weekends, because I had to invest money in this. By the returns, I'm going to get that back. So you have to put in the time, you have to put in the money. And it's tough, but that's the way to go about it. And then the interviews, you would have to, I did an interview today for GLC engineer. I just keep applying. I mean, it became a habit. I keep applying every day, every day, every day. You will get no's, but you keep going. And that's how you get to where you want to be. If you listen to the no's, you will always be depressed. But through Dr. Edu's program, when he says, when they say no, move on to the next one. So and then like what Mike did, 20 applications. I just keep applying every day because there, like I said, my friend who encouraged me works 3 cyber jobs. He travels to my country on a weekend and comes back. And he was able to teach from Ghana. Cyber. So the flexibility of that should encourage you. Now, when I go into nursing, I don't have to worry about that because I don't have to be running around being stressed out. I cut off that stress. Being in the hospital, and then there's cold, there is emergencies. I have every time when I come in the morning, I'm stressed. What am I going to experience today? I don't have to deal with all of that. I don't have to be standing on my feet 12 hours, taking care of patients, transfers, emergencies, all that. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm going to be at home, working from home, Monday to Friday. If I hadn't invested in this, I wouldn't have seen the difference today. So you have to do it. It can be done. There are going to be difficult ways, difficult things along the way, but you have to be determined, and then you will get it. So that's my piece.
All right, thank you so much, George. And I think one question that I'm sure people really want to know is, correct me if I'm wrong, you did practice nurse for like about 10 years, right? So people want to know, like, how was the change like? Or was it like any culture shock? Was there any transferable skills? Like, people want to know how that switch was.
The switch, you see, when people say switch, I mean, when you're determined, I don't see, you have to be determined because I did 4 things. I've done project management, I've done nursing, I've done something called nursing informatics. I have all certification in it, but that didn't stop me. So when you're determined to do something, you forget about what is switching. You just, if you feel that that's where the value is, you will do anything to do it. Like I said, spending time and money. If you don't understand something, you ask. You go and look it up. You go and research. And then you jump into it. So me, I didn't care about switching. All I wanted, once I heard the value was there, I'm jumping in. There were hurdles, but I persist. So that's how it's going to be like. And also to demystify one more thing, age doesn't have any issue, because I didn't believe at my age I would have a different career where people say after a certain age, you are not valuable in the market. No. As long as you can talk on your skills and you persist, it makes no difference. So switching, you have to make the determination and the decision. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So that's what we have for you, but I know there are some people in the chat who have some questions for you. I can see 2 hands raised right now. We'll pick those and we also open up to the chat. So have Prince Boateng. So Prince Boateng, you can go first, and also Lumen. Lumen, please, you can go right after Prince Boateng. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Probably this question maybe to you, Michael, or Dr. Edu. I'm not sure how your scheduling is, but is it possible to combine the cybersecurity internship with the PCI training, or you think it's advisable to do one before the other?
I can take it. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Michael.
Oh, you can go ahead, Dr. Edu, please.
So you can do both. Like George will tell you, George has done both. Combining both is a lot of work, but it's doable, right? You just have to dedicate yourself and put in more hours and more time. So just like what George was saying, here we don't sugarcoat or try to sell you any snake oil. It's hard work, pure sheer hard work. So if you're not ready for the hard work and you want some sweet words that is going to be easy and you just, step in it and you are there in the next minute, it's not going to happen, right? You have to, it is not easy, but it's doable. If it was easy, everybody would have been a cybersecurity professional making 6 figures and more, right? You have to put in the hard work. So for us, we are not going to, give you any break. We're going to take you through pure hard work and encourage you and make sure and let you know that it is doable. That way, when you find yourself anywhere in any company, you'll be set for life. Because like George and everybody else who has gone through us and are working, anywhere they find themselves, they are able to function effectively because we really put them through a lot of hard work and we expose them a lot to different areas of what they will be doing on the job. So you can combine both, but be ready to work hard.
Okay, and I think I mean more about conflicts when it comes to like scheduling. So maybe you register.
No. So internship, we meet on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern onwards. For the PCI is during the week, either Mondays and Wednesdays or Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? So there is not going to be any conflict.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, good question, Prince. And one thing I wanted to add was, so for the PCI, we always recommend that you have a very good cybersecurity background because it's like a different niche in cybersecurity. So even though the PCI class, we do start with a crash course, like the first couple of weeks, we just go through like a crash course that will help you. But something to think about is before you enter the PCI, we always recommend that you have a very good background as well. All right. Thank you. So Lumen, please go ahead.
Hello, Michael. Hello, everyone. Hello, Dr. Edu. Hello, George. So what I wanted to add to George is please, if you are in Dr. Edu courses, especially in a internship, please network among yourself. Why? Because most of the time, let's say me and George, we talk a lot, we talk pretty much every day. I rely on him, he relied on me. So sometimes I give up. Who say, no, Lumen, no, you have to keep doing it. You have to keep doing this one. And I remember he gave up multiple times. Like, no, you cannot give up. He keep changing my mind. Like, no, you cannot change your mind. You have to push it. You have to push it. And, and he made it. So please, network, especially the internship is not just for us to learn and disappear. And everyone that was on my internship, like Michael, George, Mavis, Brian, we all talk now, we all share, we always meet and talks and share knowledge. So that's the only thing, I wanted to share with everyone. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Lumen. Appreciate your time. I know I see a lot of comments in the chat here, but let me have those who have raised their virtual hands and I'll come to the chat. And I know some people dropping in the chat that they are also from a nursing background and they are getting burned out already. So I'm sure people are having a lot of value out of this chat. So Tunde, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you to the speaker. My name is Tunde Malomo. From your experience in the job market, since you've been there firsthand, where do you see PCI in terms of remuneration? I think some people have always said that it is one of the highest paying niche. Is that what you see during your job search also?
Who? Were you asking me that question?
I am asking the guest. Yes.
So, you know what was so awesome about this? The fact that one time Dr. Edu was lecturing from France, and I think he had a PCI job somewhere over there. I was like, wait. So PCI, you can do it all over? It's a global standard. That alone inspired me. Like, okay, that means if I want to work in another country and do PCI jobs, I even applied to a job in England. So that was one of the main factors that helped. And then every year, they have to do annual compliance. So they have no choice than to be with that standard. And if you're using credit card, you have to comply. Now, that's a good business for someone who wants to be in PCI. You lose that, you lose the ability to, they revoke that privilege from you. So people have no choice than to do that. And that carves a niche for every organization that is looking for PCI people. So that's where the market is. I mean, it's very unique, but once you get the opportunity, there's no way you'll not be valuable. So that's how I look at it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Can I say one or two?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello. Hi, my name is Adoma. Also, a graduate from Eretmis, and from what I do, I was hired as a cybersecurity professional. But then I am one person doing two stuff, like two things: cybersecurity professional when it comes to my IT team. But as the year goes to an end, like from now going, it switches to PCI compliance. And then I have to go through the whole processes of how my company will be able to pass the PCI. And so without the exposure from Dr. Edu, this couldn't have been possible. So you have to have the basis as a cybersecurity professional, but they work hand in hand. Through that basis, the PCI also pops out. But if you don't have somebody like Dr. Edu, you will not even understand what this is. So he will guide you to get it. So that's what he did. And now, like at my job, when it comes to this coin, they call on me. When it comes to that coin, they call on me. And even if I ask my boss, I want to go on vacation, he's like, once you're working, I don't have any problem. So you can work from anywhere, enjoy vacationing anytime you want. So I think it's a good deal. And Dr. Edu will guide all of us to get there. So take it serious.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Kwame. I appreciate you. And so I know, so Lumen spoke, shout outs to Lumen as well. I know George did give shout outs to Lumen, helping him out. And those who don't know, Lumen is also working in cybersecurity, PCI to be specific. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there as well. So thank you, Lumen. So please, Jay Christabel, please go ahead.
Thank you, Michael. I would like to ask George a question. I think he mentioned something about February. Does that mean that's the duration he did the program between February and now, or after the graduation, that between February and now that he got a job?
I will do it. And then I think he didn't finish the internship. And I think somewhere in week 7 where we were doing incident response. I was not able to be part of that because I just started the job orientation. So
Is it just me, but it looks like George is breaking up a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's breaking up.
It's breaking up.
Okay, let's see if we can have George
Hello?
back.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Well, I think start the November, December, January, February, I got a job. We had not completed internship. And then I landed a job. So I think that was 2 weeks also where they were doing incident response. I couldn't be part of that group. And I was getting the job, and then I got with them. So then I continued PCI. I invested in PCI group. And I was also doing that alongside that. And then I am today getting a job.
You're still breaking up.
All right, thank you so much. So if you can hear me, George, it looks like you were breaking up a little bit. So if you can just give a quick summary about what you just said right now, I think that'll be very helpful.
Hello?
Yes, George, yeah,
Hello?
we can hear you now. Yes, please go ahead. Yeah, hello, George, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think George is still coming in broken, but just to help out who asked the question. So George started work in February. I think he was internship. If Lumen, he was in Lumen's cohort. So if Lumen and the rest will attest to that, I'm not really sure. I can't remember, but in the November internship, they ended around, I think, February-ish is when they completed their internship. So he was in that. He got a job before the internship ended, and he started working, I think, around February. So up till now, so he's been in less than a year, and he got another job again, right, doing PCI. So I think that is what he was trying to say.
Yes, that's correct.
Hello?
Yeah, George, please go ahead. Yeah.
So did you hear what I said? I mean, I started in November. I got the job in February, and I think we completed the internship in February, in March. So then I did the PCI specialist class, and then I eventually landed a job this month. So that's how I look at it.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, I think before we go back to the questions in the chat, so Mike, please go ahead.
Yeah, can you all hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, Mike.
Okay, so I think George, man, I'm so proud of you. So George's story should be a testament to, to resiliency and never giving up. So I quite remember George would call me right on the weekends. So he did have his cyber GRC role from Monday through Friday, and he was still, working on the weekends, picking up shifts. And George will be driving like hours to work, and he'll call me on the phone, talking to me, and I'll be trying to encourage him and tell him, George, like, don't just give up. This is what we're supposed to do. So we will actually come up with the game plans and see how better to execute, right? So I just want, everybody on this call who's, on the brink of giving up or, going through struggles and not making it. I mean, just use George's, story as an example. And like you can use George's story, you can use my story. And we have a lot of people in the Eretmis family, and you can use all our stories to make an example. So George, mine is just a comment. I'm so proud of you, man. Like you never gave up. You never gave up. And I want everybody on this call, just don't give up. Go through the course, go through the struggles, and you are definitely, going to make it out as, some of us did. So, George, we are so proud of you, man. Like you can imagine how proud I am of you. And congratulations again for the second one. So I think
Thank
that's
you.
all I have. Thank you.
I thank you, Mike. I think Mike said it all. So TLDR, this can be you one day here. All right, Frank, please go ahead.
All right. So thank you, Michael. George. Can you please tell me, like, when after you were done with the internship,
Yes.
give me an estimate of how many applications submitted before you were able to land that first job, and also what was the motivation? Because you had a job, so what was the motivation for you to transition and enroll to take the PCI course as well?
I have lost count of how many applications I did because, like I said, I do quick apply on LinkedIn. I apply when I'm sleeping. Yesterday, when I was talking to Lumen, I was still applying, even though I had a job. So I can tell you, I lost count. I apply every chance I get because, like Mike said, he did 20. I mean, Mike really inspired me to do more applications because he said 20 a day. And I was like, damn, then we have to do more. So I can tell you on average, I do more than 20 a day. I just lost count. Like I said, I had an interview today. And so I just keep applying. Once I understood the assignment with this class that you have to keep applying, they tell you no, you keep applying, you get one. The Indians will waste your time. The Indian, those calls come in, they have a contract, they'll be wasting your time. You keep through the motions. And then the other part was, I hated the California traffic. I mean, people are doing the job remote. I wanted a remote job. And so going work to work Monday to Friday, the gas, the mileage on my car was breaking down. We're carpooling to work. I was like, no. I need something different. Even though I'm getting experience in the cyber, that wasn't what I wanted. So that motivated me to, you know what, push to the PCI, and willingly, God willing, I'll get a job. So it was like I wanted to improve my process. I wanted to do more to improve my quality of life. And I believe that when I saw the value of PCI, the fact that it's a global standard, people need to do annual compliance, and the training is really not common out there. It's really very difficult to look for the training until I came to see Dr. Du's class. And then I said, okay, this is unique, it's valuable. And so I said, let me take a chance in it. And this is what I got.
All right, thank you so much. So long story short, keep applying, right? If you don't have your offer letter, keep applying. I know Lumen said he used to apply for 100 jobs a day. So yes, keep it going. All right, Robert, please go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, hi, George. Thank you very much for such an inspiring story. Yeah, I've really taken a lot from it. Now, my question is, how were you able to balance your work with your studies, like your academics? Because I've always wanted to take some classes and study, but sometimes the pressure from work, by the time you get home, you are very exhausted, and it's very hard to even take a book, read, and learn. And also, how were you able to balance your work, your studies with your family? And also, you said you had some prior networking experience and some kind of IT experience. So did it make things easy for you when you were taking the classes at Eretmis Academy?
So first one was, like I said, I'll do 12-hour shifts, 3 12s, come home so tired. But I mean, someone said,
what you see and what your mind sees is different. In my mind, I wanted something better. And like I said, the mentors, the guy who I said, I have a friend in Chicago, he works 3 cyber jobs and his life was beautiful. Like he could fly anywhere, he could do anything. And he's making more than 6 figures. So like mentorship counts. I want to be like him. So mentorship is one of the reasons, determination. So you see his lifestyle, you want to be like that person. And like all the people around us, Mike having 2 jobs. I mean, and then he has to work from home. Who doesn't want that? So I'll be tired. Especially during the winter season, driving through this snow and all this black ice.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I want to eliminate that. So then instead of going through the hospital stress and all that, I'm like, you know what? I wake up, I'm tired, I have to do my assignments. Sometimes I used to be late. Then we tell Dr. Edu, can you give us a chance to submit our assignments? So and then he gives us a leeway. So it's not going to be all perfect like that. Like the expert class, I'm backtracked because I'm determined. Lumen tells me I should start. I'm always jumping into, I want to do this, I want to do that, I'm all over. I'm very determined, no matter what it takes. So determination will be the one. And then he also makes the class a little bit flexible because after all, the classes is on the weekend. So you still have Monday to Friday in between to do most of the assignments. So that I think that's how I was able to do it.
All right.
Yeah. Right. Thank you so much, George. That was very inspiring. You said your brain sees things differently. I like that. Mama Diallo, please go ahead. Mamadou Diallo, if you are ready, can you please unmute yourself and go ahead? Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mamadou Diallo. I have a question regarding for the for applying zones. Like, is there any zone that you could apply? Let's say for someone that's live in New York and have not a lot experience in the cyber industry. So, do you guys think it's better to move out so certain places where you guys think like it will be easy to get a job, or it's just keep applying as you guys are doing every day?
Hey, Michael, do you want me to take that one?
Yeah, please go ahead. Either George or Lumen. Yeah, please go ahead.
Well, it doesn't matter. This is cybersecurity, okay? You may be lucky to get a hybrid job or full-time online. So again, you have to keep applying, guys. It's not gonna be easy. I lost my job in 2019, and luckily I met Dr. Edu in 2020, and it was not easy for me. I was doing Amazon delivery. I usually take my kids in the car while doing the training on Saturday sometime. And George know about that. And it was not easy. And I apply like every day. Like sometimes, like even Michael will be like, Lume, no, don't give up, man. You're gonna get it. I know you're smart, you know. So please, anywhere you are, you will get it. Just believe it, man. It doesn't matter. If it's in Alaska, you will get it. Okay? If it's in Seattle,
even in England,
you will get it.
England.
It's in England, you will get it. Trust me on that. Okay, that's what I have. Sorry.
Yes, and no problem. What document, like, they might ask if someone is not a citizen, or like what document they might ask, like, residency for cybersecurity jobs, most likely what they ask?
It depends on the job that you apply. Again, remember, it could be contracts, it could be direct hire to a company, it could be government job. Government job, you already know, you have to be a US citizen. That one, take it out. If it's a private company, you must have a green card or be a US citizen. Okay, so but I don't know your status. That one I don't know. Some companies may do your visa, whatever, unless they really, really, really need you, or you have a special skill that they cannot find in the United States. That's the only time they can bring you from another country to the United States. That's what I know. Maybe Dr. Ju can, explain more on that.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly for cyber jobs, if it's not a government contract, if you're not going to be working for the government through a contractor or directly for the government, then all you need is a work authorization, right? Work authorization gives you the permission to work in the United States. Even for some of the government contracts, it's not all of them that you necessarily have to be a citizen, but almost like a good 90% of it. And then after the good 90% of it, maybe a good 60% of it will need you to have clearance as well, right? So, but there is more money on the private side. So, but although the government side also has a lot of good money in terms of companies looking for gigs, there are more opportunities on the government side as well as on the private side. But for individuals looking for a job, there are more jobs on both sides. But in terms of money, the private side will pay more. So we have companies who are contracting for the government who are paying more money than people who are working directly for the government doing the same job. So hopefully that makes sense, right? So yes, hopefully that answers your question.
Yes. Another question one more time I have is like what's like the site, like there is a lot of site, and when you put your information on LinkedIn, like your resume and all that, some people call you, like especially Indians and stuff like that. They make you do some time interviews and stuff like that, and then they're not gonna call you back. Some of them call you, they say, oh, we need your ID, things like that. How do you guys see that? Like if in case someone call you pretending that he did an interview with you and a real company, and you see everything, and then they act like they have a job available for you, and they request like some documents from you.
May I take that one?
Yeah, so Lumen, let me go first and then I'll have Lumen go.
Okay.
So this is a good occasion for everybody. If you're applying for a job, your first take from a recruiter is give me your social security number, or give me your green card copy, or give me your passport copy, or any of that. That is a scam. No company is going to ask you for your work authorization or any of that. Even if they have to ask you, they'll ask you in the mention, do you have it or you don't have it? They're not going to ask for a copy of it. The only time they're going to ask for a copy of it is when they officially give you an offer. So if you're on here and anybody is asking you for your like a copy of your driver's license and it's all a scam. Don't fall for that. Now, two, for all those calls that you'll be getting from, and not to call out Indians, but these are not Indians in the States, they are Indians in India who are calling you long distance. So for those people, all those bogus calls that you're going to be getting, they just make those calls to sign off for their sign-in sheet to say they work for the day, right? So they are just calling people. If like a company hired them to do like recruiting for them or something of that nature, they have to call, maybe do 100 calls a day. So if you are lucky, you find yourself in the 100 calls. So they are going to call you and nothing will come out of it, right? So for those calls, and mostly those calls are from Monster, the job site Monster and the rest, right? So don't waste your time on those ones. They will call you and how much money do you want? And you're all excited. Or we're going to give you like 50 an hour or 55 an hour. And you think, yeah, I'm very close to getting a job. Those calls, mostly just ignore them or take them for what they are. I don't really expect anything to come out of it. But if they are asking you for any personal information, please don't give it out, because no company will be asking you, no serious company will be asking you for all those things if they don't think you are even a qualified person for them to give you an offer, right? So they have to give you an offer first before they ask for any proof of whether you are legal to work in the United States or not, and to even ask for like your certification copies and stuff like that, right? So hopefully that helps. Lumen, you can also jump in on this one.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ju. I think you have said everything, but the one thing that I want to add is when I was searching for jobs and I came across to, all those, a lot of Indian call from outside of United States. What I've been doing is I go on Google and I'll type like, okay, cybersecurity analyst. And then Google lists automatically all the companies, everything. And then I go on each company website and I apply directly just to make your life easier. That's the best way that I can, I've been teaching like everyone. Indeed is good as well. I remember asking Dr. Ju, and Dr. Ju say, if you go on Indeed, make sure, before you apply, go to that link. If the link is not taking you to the website, that means it's fake. Then go online, copy the company name, search it on Google, and apply directly to the website. That's what I wanted to add. It's not easy. It's going to be challenging, but you must do it to get a job. Thank you.
Okay, how about there's a staffing agency? Staffing agency that is there like this. They call you for a job and they're gonna be as a middle person from your pay and stuff like that.
Yes,
it's possible to go through them or
yes.
or not?
For example, me, I'm working for Red Cloud. Red Cloud is I will not say staffing agency. It's a consulting company that have a contract with another company. So it's like agency, but it's not agency, So you see them as well. It's like Deloitte, KPMG, they are consulting companies. They'll hire you to work on government contract. They'll hire you and to work on another big contract or
Lumen, that's not what he's talking about.
okay.
I have a personal experience. One of my friends, this staffing agency got a job for him, and they're taking 10% of his like bi-weekly salary until about set time when he will finish paying them. I'm sure that's what he's talking about.
Yes, exactly.
Get a job for you, and when you
yeah.
land a job, okay. For example, they will say it's 15,000. Every paycheck will take 800 or whatever amount you guys will agree on, and I'm sure that's what he's talking about.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So let me jump in on to that one. So for any agency that is going to tell you, hey, we are going to get you a job and then we're going to take money from you, I'll run for those. I'll run from those ones, because how does recruiters or recruiting agencies, how do they get money? They get money from the company that they are recruiting you for, not from you. Right. So if they are trying to take money from the company they are recruiting you for and then taking money from you, they are ripping you off. Because for all you know, they just presented you to the company. Like what the recruiting agencies, all that they do is this, except the ones who have been working with some companies for a while and they have a good working relationship. For the rest of them, I'll just pick Lumen, pick his resume and everything, that polish it up, present it to maybe Eretmis Inc. and say, hey, I have this person, he has these qualities, he can do A, B, C, D. Are you going to consider him for your position, this type of position? If they say yes, then I'll call him in and let him know, hey, I've got an interview for you at this place, say A, B, C, and D. And Lumen will go and fight, through and get the job on his own merits. And then I'm going to take the credit for it because I was the one who did the job application for him, literally. So the company that I'm presenting you to, they are going to pay me, I think it's almost sometimes 10% thereabout of your annual salary. So I should, if I'm taking money from Lumen again, it's just I'm ripping him off. So for those ones, run away from them, because at the end of the day, you are getting the job on your own merits. Unless, of course, they get you the job with no interview or nothing. They are like, hey, Lumen, you are starting tomorrow. Got the deal for you. Either than that, you got it on your own merits. So don't let them take money from the employer and then take money from you also, ripping you off. Because the knowledge and skill that you got, that you are using to work, they are not the one who paid for it. If their deal is to pay for your training, so they come to Eretmis, we are going to sponsor Lumen, pay for all his training, give him the link, get him the job, then they have a case, right? then they can take instrumental pay investment for your own training. However, knowledge and skill is on, like, you got it for yourself. Just that link, the company is going to pay it. So don't be paying them. If they come up with that proposal, ignore them and just do your own hard work, and you're eventually going to get a job. And also, like Lumen said, most of the job posts that you see on these job sites, the recruiting companies, guess what they do? They go to the actual job site. So let's say I go to Bank of America, I search for all the cybersecurity jobs on there, and then I will repost them on Indeed, on LinkedIn, on Glassdoor. And when you apply for it, the application comes to me, the recruiting agency, and we will vet and see who is going to be the best fit. And then we will present that person to the company that we took that application from, right? And when they are like, okay, bring him for an interview, then we're just going to take you there. If you're able to pass, then we take credit for it and take the money from the company, because we submitted a good candidate for them and we give them somebody who can do the job, right? So what Lumen was speaking to, and that I told everybody, when you go to this job site and you see a job post, go directly to the website, the company's website, and apply directly on the company's website. Because when you do that, you have the chance, like you have 90% chance of speaking to a recruiter from that company, rather than wasting your time going through some bogus recruiting company who is going back and forth and wouldn't even move you forward based on their own criteria, but they are not the ones who are going to employ you anyways, right? So why don't you cut the middleman and go directly to the source, right? So like Lumen is saying, it's hard work, but I mean, you want somebody to pay you 6 figures and you think you're gonna get it by just, some 2 or 3 steps or just some magic one, and that's it. No, it takes hard work. So if you are not up for the hard work or putting in the actual work, and for everybody who is currently looking for a job or want to, get in that space, Lumen was applying for jobs every day as his full-time job, right? Like he was getting paid for to do that. And now he's actually being paid for all that he did when he wasn't getting paid for. Hopefully that makes sense. So if you treat it like your life depends on it, you are applying like a full-time job that you're gonna get paid, that you are getting paid for. Eventually, you are going to get paid for 6 figures and more for all that hard work that you put in. So it's a lot of hard work. Be ready and prepared for it. There's going to be a lot of no's. Now, people who are very successful in the world, that everybody wants to be like, do you know how many no's they've encountered? They probably encountered more no's than yeses, right? But one yes can change your whole entire life. For everybody who is testifying and, going back and forth, and everybody, oh, wow, that's nice. It's just one yes out of the 100 no's that changed everything for them, right? So just persistence is the key. You can be the most technical, you can be the most smart. If you are not persistent, you don't keep encouraging yourself, and also you don't network. That is why we have the internship, and all our courses we have that internship. Like Lumen was saying, it's not just for you to learn and disappear, but to keep the group together, right? To keep encouraging and pushing each other. That is how you succeed. And that is why we have Cyber Chats. It's all for the networking and for the connection. So people on here will tap Lumen, get him on LinkedIn, talk to him, get Michael, get another Michael. There are so many, we have so many Michaels now, right? And they are all good resources that you can tap from. And these, like all these resources, we didn't bring them from anywhere. They are internally made. So they know where you are coming from. They've been there, they've done that. And people like that can guide you well than others who just came from other sources and had their own way or had an easy way. These people they are actually doing what you want to do. So if you want to get there, they are good resources that you can talk to, right? So hopefully that helps everyone. Now, I think, Michael, we can get back to the questions and wrap it up here. We are a little bit over time.
Yeah, thank you so much. So please, William Poku, please go ahead.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Dr. Du. So my question goes to George. Thanks for sharing your experience and motivating all of us. I wanted to know what certifications you have in cybersecurity.
That's a good question. I can tell you I have a lot of certifications, but that didn't help in my job search. I even told Dr. Do I passed my CSSP, but that didn't even matter. I have CompTIA Security Plus, I have my CSSP, but that's not what gets you there. How you get there is how you articulate your responses to questions. And the only way you can articulate your responses is doing hands-on stuff. So like the internship, doing labs, because today they were talking about how I was going to configure stuff in Azure. And if you've not done something in Azure, how are you going to articulate and make an example out of it? So you can have all the certifications in the world. I've done the CISSP, I've even forgotten some of the concepts already. So thinking about the certifications, it helps to get in the door, but it's not really what we need to be focusing on. We need to do the internship, hands-on, learning from people's experience to get in. Because when you're on the job, they don't really look at you with the CISSP and all that. No, they look at what you can do. So you can get the certifications all right, but that's not what I believe gets you in the door actually done. Because there are a couple of people on the Eretmis program who don't have a lot of certifications. Michael didn't have his certification, but he got a job before he had his certification. So that doesn't really count too much.
Right. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right. Lene, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Well, I would like to know if well, first of all, for the guy who's in PCI, I would like to know what is something that you would suggest for someone to have a successful PCI DSS interview. I have a tentative interview coming up on the 31st, and I think it's going to happen. So I'm preparing now and really nervous, and I want to be at my best and do really well on my interview.
Dr. Ju, can I take that one? I think we need to talk offline, because number one, I think you need to know cybersecurity, to be honest with you. Like I told Dr. Ju, the only reason I'm successful in my position today is because of cybersecurity background.
Right.
Firewall. You can never know that without learning cybersecurity.
Right. And
Talking
I do
about
have that.
Yeah, encryption. You can never understand encryption, tokenization, trunkinization. You can never understand any of that without learning, cybersecurity. So I would say number one is those basic. And I believe if you are in PCI course for Dr. Ju, the cybersecurity crash course can help you. That's
it helped me a lot, a great deal. And even before that, I was going over security plus objectives. I did not get certified yet. I plan on doing that someday, but I know the test pretty well, and I could probably go in and get through it okay.
And also remember the PCI course too. I believe for Dr. Ju ones is very good, and I believe going through all of them also will help you. And I believe Michael is there also to help, after this section, set up time so that, we all can help,
Michael?
Yeah, so Leonard had gone through, had gone through the PCI training. So we are yet to, I think maybe probably tomorrow, we'll go through her job description and then start prepping her. But yes, Michael will also be helping you to go through this, right? So you have a lot of guns backing you. So, but just, I know what you are made of. You can do this. Just have that confidence, right? During the
Yes.
interview, for you, it's going to be if they ask you first PCI, you wouldn't have a problem because you've actually done it.
Right.
So, like, what are they going to really ask that you can't really speak about, right? So, but still, now we just have to polish up on interviewing skills and how to go about the
Yes.
questions and the strategy of answering your questions. But aside that, when it comes to like sheer knowledge and experience about doing stuff in everything in PCI, you shouldn't have a problem, right?
Wonderful.
So,
Okay.
yes,
So
we
you
are going to
said
go through.
tomorrow?
Yes, so tomorrow I'll send you some voice notes so you can
Okay.
start using that to prep, and then hopefully maybe ending of tomorrow or Sunday we can go through some of the questions and polish you up on that. And then also just to ask, have you gone through the job placement assistant training on the website?
I've gone through some of it, and I was going to brush up on it over the weekend too.
Okay. Okay. So go through not the job placement assistant sessions that we do on Tuesdays, but the actual training on the website. Everybody who enrolls in the entry level has access to that also as well. So if you go to the Eretmis website, you see the job placement
Yes.
assistant. So that will take you through some of the techniques of questions and what to look out for and what language employers hear, like what they hear and what they don't hear. So that will help you prep you and give you those basics in terms of also the soft skills. And then we will start polishing up tomorrow.
Okay. And are you going to contact me via Zoom or via email?
No, so first you are going to receive some. I'll go through it. Mostly what I do, I go through it and I send you some voice notes. Right, this is what to look out for. This is about that. That is about that. And then you are going to use that to prep. And then we will do one-on-one, and then go through and ask questions, have you answer, and then we are going to discuss and polish you up. Okay. And then I'll hand you over to Michael.
How do I access the
We'll reach
voice
out to you.
notes that you send me?
Oh,
Do you
via
call
WhatsApp.
me or WhatsApp?
No, via
Okay.
WhatsApp.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries at all, Ine.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so we'll find you and we'll walk you through everything and make sure you are successful in your interview. And also just want to reiterate this to everybody. So if you have any interview coming up, please just let us know and we will make sure we get you where you need to be successful. As an example, I had a member, had a PCI interview at Costco today. We've done like series of interview preps. We have a member also actually interviewed for a PCI job on Sunday with a very big fintech job in Japan, not in the US, in Japan. And the interviews on Sunday because of friends. So long story short, we've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, helping people out. So please do not hesitate. If you need help, just reach out, myself, Dr. Edu, and we'll point you in the right direction. So we're also trying to be a respecter of time here. I think we're getting close to 2 hours and 30 minutes. I know it's Friday night, Halloween weekend, people have stuff to do. So we will take Patrick as the last caller and we'll wrap it up for tonight.
Yes, good evening. Thank you, Michael and Dr. Edu. I just want to say, about the PCI, I've seen so many different positions. I'm not trained in it. I think that's what drew me to the Eretmis Academy. I looked at his free training there. Many of the positions, they may have PCI in the position, but there's different frameworks. I wanted to know from either of you, what's the best way to, come to an understanding of the other frameworks, because it seems like many of the expectation is to understand other frameworks, but I know I need to know the PCI and get trained in there.
So there are a lot of general cybersecurity jobs like security analyst, security manager, compliance specialist, and those jobs you'll have a line in there that you have to have a good working knowledge of PCI, NIST, CIS, and ISO. That is not a typical PCI job. Right. Typical PCI jobs is just full-blown, all guns blazing, everything PCI and nothing else. Yes, in the company, if you are a PCI guy or girl, they are not going to call you and, hey, we want you to do the ISO audit. It doesn't work that way. All that they're going to have you handle, just the PCI is a world on its own in the company. It's a whole blown headache for them. It's a pain point they really care less about ISO and some of these other frameworks. For PCI, they have no option but to stay in compliance with PCI. And PCI is so complex. And Lumen and Michael and the rest can tell you, the companies are bleeding. Even huge companies, they are bleeding when it comes to PCI, right? And these are companies who think they are very mature when it comes to security. But so for jobs that have, if you see anything talking about general cybersecurity stuff, and then you see a line in there, PCI, NIST, and if they have a list of other frameworks together with PCI, it's not a PCI job. Yeah, so typical PCI jobs will just focus, like my whole job description will just be about PCI.
Okay, thank you for that advice, Dr. Adu. Thank you. That's all.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, thank you so much. So yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Very good discussion today. Thank you, George, for taking the time, meeting with the whole team, and just walking us through your career. So we thank you so much. We appreciate you. And for those who are looking forward to join, you heard it all. So please go ahead and reach out, and we'll help you out. And so Lene, we'll reach out to you and make sure we have you prepped out for your interview. And likewise for anyone, please just let us know, and we have great resources out here, and we'll be able to help you out. So let me make this real quick. I know we have an announcement to make in terms of who won the scholarship for today. And I will drop this in the chat. It was very competitive today. So today we have a lot of people answering questions. I just dropped their names in the chat. But unfortunately, we only have one scholarship to give out today, right? So as you can see in the chat, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people who answered all the questions. Hopefully I've captured everybody. I think I did. But we only have to take one person. And it was based on the consistency of the questions, also, helping out, asking questions. And also this person has also been very consistent for the past couple of weeks now, contributing to the community as well. So happy to announce Tunde Malomo as our lucky winner for today. So Tunde, we will reach out and let you know what exactly the course that you'll be offered for free at Eretmis. So yeah, congratulations, Tunde.
Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so that will be it. I'll probably give like about 10 seconds to Dr. Edu if he has anything to say, but thank you all. Great, chat tonight. Appreciate everybody's time. Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you same time next week.
All right. Thank you, everybody. And new internship cohort starts tomorrow. And our % discount ends tomorrow as well, midnight tomorrow. The 40% off. So anybody who wants to join the internship is 3,000 with 40%. You get it at 1,800. And also for the PCI class, we started it, but you can still join. We will start on PCI training next week. And for all other courses, the 40% still holds. So spread the word. It ends tomorrow at midnight. I appreciate everybody's time. Have a great weekend. We'll meet again next week for Cyber.
Thank you, Dr. Edu.
Okay, thanks.
Wonderful.
Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you.